OpenAI just dropped GPT 5.5. The pitch behind it? Hand it a messy, multi-part task and trust it to plan, work, check itself, and finish. Brockman's words. I'm an IT project manager. Messy, multi-part tasks are literally my day job. So, to test this out, I gave it free. Now, here's the thing that no one else is saying about 5.5. Now, it didn't fail the way I expected. It failed in a way that was way worse. Every YouTuber this week has been testing 5.5, making snake games, coding benchmarks, but that's not the launch claim here. The launch claim is about agency, real work, not test prompts. So, I built 3 tests, each one something I would actually do in a normal week. No tricks, no prompt engineering. Test 1, read a meeting transcript and then write me a brief for leadership and a starting plan. Number 2, upload a messy, vague, big CSV file and find me something interesting in it. And number 3, research a topic, write a LinkedIn post for me, and then generate the thumbnail images. 3 tests, 3 verdicts. Let's go. Now, test 1 is going to be given a handover call transcript. Now, I've literally sat in hundreds of these at work. Pre-sales, hands a deal. Everyone pretends it went smoothly. It never did. So, I've written a fake handover transcript, which I'm going to upload now. So, I've uploaded the transcript. There we can see it over here. Some key risks here. So my favorite one here, critical custom platform that nobody knows how to migrate. Keep it nice and loose and simple. So I'm a delivery director getting the handover. I've attached the transcript and then I've asked it to turn it into a brief I can take to leadership. I want to cover work stream, unresolved decisions, risk, and what I need to chase up before week 1. Here we go. So the 12 months, the client wants it done in 10 to 11, but that is not reflected in the contract. And it's also picked up that we haven't actually started yet, and it's picked up the key people that I need to go and speak to. So that is 4 of the 5 things I was looking for. The only thing that it didn't do, which I would have expected it to do if it's being pitched as more agentic, is after the prompt, I would have liked some more clarifying questions. Would have been good to see this, but this is still a pass for test 1. Should we move on? Should we move on? Now, test 2 is the football CSV file. I've downloaded a CSV spreadsheet with stats from the current Premier League season. 332 matches. It's got 132 columns, genuinely cryptic column titles. None of it labeled, no keys, nothing. I'm going to go ahead and upload that into ChatGPT, and I'm going to give it basically nothing to work with. So here's the CSV. I haven't told you what it is. Make sense of it and tell me what's interesting. Okay, here we are. Right, so the reason this is the cleanest test of the agentic claim is that the model has to decide, what is the data set, what's worth saying, whether or not it's going to use code interpreter, whether or not it's going to use something else to wing it. And we've given it no hint of a right answer. So I've expanded the thinking of what it's been doing on the right hand side here, and we can see that it's spent a bit of time choosing the right tool, figuring out how to process the data set as well. It's tried one thing and it's failed because it's taken too long and it's timed out, so it's had to move on to something else, which is really good. A lot of tools at this point would have just given up and failed, but it hasn't. It's self-diagnosed itself and it's moving on. And here we go, we can see almost straight away it's figured out exactly what it is, and that is Premier League data from this season. Okay, so that's pretty good work for 2 minutes and 46 seconds. So the headline story is the title race is absurdly tight. It is indeed, although I'm pretty sure Arsenal are going to bottle it. Number 2, Spurs are in actual trouble. The weirdest bit, Tottenham at 18th. It is weird, but I'm here for it. I'm sorry, Spurs fans. Number 3, Chelsea are the chaos team. 8th overall, but their last 5 matches in the file are all L's. They also have the most red cards in the data set, 7. That is not a football club. That is a HR incident log with corner kicks. That's brilliant. That is absolutely brilliant. Now, before I started this, I removed all of my custom instructions from ChatGPT, so we got the vanilla version of it. And I've not seen any of them really kind of attempt that kind of analogy or attempt that kind of voice of humor without being prompted. So the model's picking a register, it's committing to it, and it's nailed the brief. So test 2, strong pass, strong. 10 out of 10, no notes. But this matters for the rest of the video. There's a thing in the thinking trace that in its own internal monologue, it flagged that the data might not match real world fixtures, but it quickly dropped that and just carried on to produce a confident output without verifying. Hold that thought. We're going to need it in 2 minutes. It is built on 3 tasks, 1 chat, 1 prompt, research a topic, write a LinkedIn post, and generate a thumbnail. What I've gone for is shadow AI in the workplace. The angle was sharp on purpose here. Blame the leadership for not providing governance. I wanted to see if the model would push back or just write what I asked. So here we go. Let's go writing a LinkedIn post about shadow IT in the workplace. IT departments aren't keeping up, and that is the real risk. Let's have a look where we are. So we can see it has gone through 122 sources in the research piece. We can see where it's been. So it's given us a brief summary on the stats, which is awesome. And again, here's the sources. And here's the post. Shadow IT gets framed as employees going rogue. This misses the bigger problem. Governance is not caught up. That's good. That's a strong opening line, and it's followed the guidance in terms of the angle I wanted. Tick that box. Good stuff. Now, let's go and have a look at the thumbnail. So, photorealistic, app icons floating around, a stressed executive, the shadow of Shadow IT in the background. I like that a lot. And 3 big stats down the side. Now, 3 stats and 3 sources. I went and checked them all. The 75% figure is real. It's from Microsoft's Work Trend Index, not Deloitte. So the stat is right, the source is wrong. 78%, that figure exists. It's from a Walk Me survey from SAP. Again, the stat is right, the source is wrong. The 57% figure at the bottom, I cannot find this anywhere in the 122 sources that the model actually retrieved. It's not in the IBM report, it's not in the SAP one, it's not in any of them. But it's presented obviously with utter confidence. So hallucinations are still a massive problem, and we see them getting better with the text output it produces, but it's clearly still a problem between the text it's researching and turning that into an infographic. So old AI just failed by either refusing or just talking nonsense, but you could spot it, right? It looked broken, it was relatively obvious, it was overconfident, it was overselling it, or it was just so obvious it was wrong. This one fails though, but it's produced a beautifully formatted, professionally rendered, plausible looking image that's subtly wrong. Now, one more thing in test 3 that it's done. So I asked it for a thumbnail. It's given me 2 thumbnails. So it's created one as an image, and it's created one using Python, which is interesting. It's pulled information from my brand guide. It's used my brand colors. It's used my brand fonts, which is pretty cool. It's taken my little cursor icon that I have in my brand kit as well. And I've not told it to do this. And I've not run this prompt in my brand project within ChatGPT, which has all those instructions. It has all the brand guides and the icons and the logos and all that good stuff. So that's pretty cool. But it's formatted absolutely horrifically, and again, you'd have to go fact check those bits to make sure it's right as well. All of the stats on that first image had something wrong with them. 2 had the wrong citations on them, and one of them was just a complete fabrication. I went in expecting to be able to break it, and I couldn't. It did good research. It produced a great LinkedIn post and a beautiful thumbnail, and that beautiful thumbnail had some fabricated sources and a lie on it. So, is the agentic claim that OpenAI make about this real? Yes. It plans, it uses tools, it recovers from tool failures, produces multi-format output in one turn, commits to a voice, synthesizes across modalities, but the problem is the reliability. It's not uniform. The agentic claim is about loop closing, not the loop closing to the same standard everywhere. So look, if you work single shot, write me an email, debug this function, summarize this article. You're not going to notice the difference massively between 5.5 and 5.4, say. But if your work is fuzzy, grey, multi-step, then this is one of the first models that actually could deliver you something that you could use in your day-to-day. The football analysis in test 2, genuinely impressed by that. And the LinkedIn post in test 3, I would post that. The thumbnail with the made-up stats, I probably would have posted that if I hadn't checked it. But that's why this matters. It's hallucination, not deception. So, If you're using 5.5 for serious work, you can't trust it less, but you do have to check it differently. Not is the answer right, but is every component of the answer right? If you're doing multi-step workloads, you have to check it from start to finish. One incorrect piece at the start could ruin an entire loop. The agentic loop works, but that's also the problem. What's a confident looking AI output that you have trusted that turned out to be subtly wrong and came back to bite you? Drop it below. Let me know in the comments. I would love to see it. Now, the exact prompts I use in all three of these tests will be down there in the description and pinned in the comments if you want to run this on your own system or if you want to try this out in another AI model. But yeah, that's it. GPT 5.5, the agentic loop works. Thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button. Stay pitchy.